So your second question, you ask me, do you think a Goosebumps land could work at a Disney park? Disney did work with R.L. Stone for what for that What If series on Disney Plus to be Disney's response to the classic Monsters Land at Epic Universe. Okay, that's Universal's new resort in Orlando, by the way, for those of you that are not familiar. CS also goes on to say, also, do you think the Sonic the Hedgehog series could work in a Disney park as a theme land? That could be another response to Super Nintendo World at Universal, and Disney did work with Sega to have Sonic and Wreck-It Ralph. Okay, so CS, thank you for this. Another great question. Okay, no, to answer both of those in terms of Goosebumps and Sonic, absolutely not. Absolutely 1000% not. The last thing Disney wants to do is start chasing Universal's tail. Okay. And look, a lot of fans kind of get into this thing where Disney needs to respond to everything Universal does. And what you're suggesting here, and I understand where you're coming from, CS, like Disney should respond to the competition, and maybe they should, but I think this is the wrong approach in my opinion, my humble opinion. I think that Disney can't react to Universal like with a similar thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, so Universal's making a Monsters Land, so now we have to make a Monsters Land. Oh, Universal's making a video game theme land, so now we have to figure out how to make a video game theme land. That's not necessarily how Disney should respond. Disney is the top dog in the theme park industry, and they should act like it. And they shouldn't be reactive. And this is what you're suggesting here is very reactive. Okay. And I don't think it would be very successful as a strategy. Disney needs to do what they do best, and they need to work within the parameters of their franchises and their IPs. And just kind of doing something similar to what Universal is doing is not the road to success. Look, Nintendo is the Disney of the video game world. You're never going to find a franchise in the video game world more iconic than Nintendo. You know, Super Mario is basically Mickey Mouse when it comes to video games. There's nothing that Disney can do competitively in the video game kind of sphere that's going to compete with Super Mario or Donkey Kong or Zelda or any of that. And they shouldn't try to do that. Disney needs to compete with Super Nintendo World by creating themed environments that are well done. And that doesn't necessarily mean another video game land. You know, when Disney responded to Harry Potter Wizarding World, they didn't respond with like a magical land, right? They responded with Star Wars, something totally different. That's the route they need to go. They need to respond with something that's heavily immersive, heavily innovative, revolutionary, but do their own thing. Just because Universal is doing monsters and just because Universal is doing video games doesn't mean that Disney needs to go ahead and quickly scramble to find something monsters and video game related. I completely think that I think that's a totally wrong strategy and direction for Disney to go, in my opinion. Disney should lead, and they shouldn't be chasing Universal's tail. That's a bad strategy.